Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to bring another video and I wanted to talk about the Ryzen 5600X, and I wanted to talk about something that people don't really talk about a whole lot. I don't think it gets emphasized enough. So the 5600X, this is a chart here showing the complete power draw, and the 5600X is coming in at 69 watts. And if you look at the i5-11600k, it's coming in at 168 watts. And these chips, when you look at the reviews, they're pretty much dead even. But the thing that's surprising to me is that the 5600X in some cases wins, and when it does lose, it's very close, and it takes up 99 watts less than the i5-11600k. And I just wanted to show you why that matters, and why, if all things being equal, you probably want to go with the 5600X, because they're pretty much the same from what I've been seeing. There's certain scenarios where the i5 might be better, and there's certain scenarios where the 5600X might be better, but it's pretty much coin flip. They're both not bad parts. They're both good for gaming. So if we go here to the energy cost calculator, and you see that the i5-11600k is 168 watts, 168. So here, putting in 168 watts, this is just to see how much it costs to run a processor that's running at 168 watts. And then I put 8 hours per day, which seems normal, 8 hours per day. It's kind of heavier use case, but this is just to be more in line with a normal type of use case. We could extrapolate this out to 24 hours, but in this one, we're doing 8 hours. So the energy cost per year is $58.86. So I put that in the calculator, $58.86. And then when we put in the Ryzen chip, we calculate $24.17. So minus $24.17. So that's what you get. You get $34.69 in energy savings if you just pick the 5600X, and the performance is pretty much exactly the same as an i5-11600k. In certain scenarios, it loses. In certain scenarios, it wins. But they're pretty much dead even chips. But you're saving $35 a year on power. And there are some people, of course, I give them that. They have a solar powered house. But for the rest of the 90% or 95% of people who don't have solar powered homes, and they're just paying their electric company for power, $35 a year is pretty decent, especially if you keep the chip for 1 to 2 years. You're going to be saving 35 to 70 bucks, especially if you're on a heavier user. Now, if you're going to be doing something intense and you're always going to be rendering and the machine is always going to be at full load, we can do that. So the i5 running 24 hours per day, calculate it, $176 in power. If you were to run this at full load for a whole year, it would be $176.60 in power. So we're going to put that in here, 170 and 60 cents. And when you calculate this out, $72.53. So minus $72.53. So you're saving $98 So if you're doing rendering and your machine is just getting hit hard every day, you know, people, this is a really hyperbolic subject, but if somebody's going to be cryptocurrency mining and they're going to be pushing their chip to the limit because they're mining or they're rendering, or they're doing some other intensive task, maybe they're doing something involving machine learning, maybe they're doing a ton of compiling all the time. All of these heavy CPU use cases, if you're going to be using it 24 hours a day, you're going to be saving $100 a year. So probably you just want to go with the i5-5600X unless there's a very, very specific use case for the i5. But it's pretty hard to recommend because they're so dead even, and this power draw thing is kind of ridiculous, especially when you go out to 24 hours. $100 a year, and the performance is pretty much equal between the i5 and the Ryzen chip. I mean, saving $100 a year in 2 years, you save 200. In 3 years, you save almost $300, which basically pays for the chip itself, especially if you're going to be just putting it at full load most of the time, if not all the time. So wanted to look at prices, and I just brought up Newegg, and yeah, you can get a Ryzen 5600X. If you put in this promo code that's on their site, you can get it for $268. And right now you can get an 11600K and you can get it for $270. Comes with Death Stranding, if you care about the game. If you don't care about the game, it's $270, and you have a game that you may or may not like. If you don't care about Death Stranding and you're just looking at the power draw of the total CPU package, like there we're showing on Tom's Hardware, you definitely want to go with the 5600X. It's pretty much equivalent performance, and it just uses way, way, way less power. Again, if people are in solar powered homes, I understand that those people don't need to care about power draw necessarily because they could be entirely off the grid. There could be, the 0.1% of people who are entirely off the grid and entirely solar powered. So the power draw doesn't really concern them. But for the 95% of normal people who need to pay for power, I think it's a no-brainer to go with the AMD 5600X. The performance is the same as the i5-11600k in most scenarios, if not better or the same, and you're going to be saving money on power year over year. So that's all I wanted to share. Thanks, guys. Like and subscribe. All right. Bye.